Alright, so I'm sure everyone's seen the announcements at EVO, some pretty good stuff. We got our first look at Terry Bogard in Street Fighter 6. Looks pretty alright. We have Season 4 for Guilty Gear, as well as a guest character that's appearing, which is pretty cool. And we also have the next character for Tekken 8, which is Heihachi Mishima. And it's cool to see him again. That's cool. That's all fine and stuff. But, why? If anyone has played the Tekken 7 story, Heihachi dies. Heihachi and Kazuya have a final battle on the inside of a volcano, with Kazuya coming out on top and finally defeating him. And then after defeating him, he proceeds to drop Heihachi inside the volcano in lava. Normally after something like that, you'd be dead. No doubt, you'd just be dead. But Heihachi Mishima is just built different, because he just came out of lava like nothing happened, apparently. Now, of course, I knew Heihachi would probably come back in some way, but to be honest, I didn't think it'd be Tekken 8. I thought he would be out this game, and eventually when a Tekken 9 comes around, he'd be back. You know, very similar to Kazuya, when they fought each other in Tekken 2, and Kazuya was presumably dead, and he wasn't in Tekken 3. But no, they just threw him right back in. Just like another character from another fighting game that just got thrown back in. Literally last month in Street Fighter 6, M. Bison returned. But guess what? Just like Heihachi in Tekken 7, M. Bison died at Street Fighter 5. In the story mode of Street Fighter 5, towards the end, Ryu and M. Bison have their final encounter. This is it. This is the moment things have been building up to, where they fight and one comes out on top. And of course, Ryu wins the battle and destroys M. Bison once and for all. Ryu launches a charged Hadouken at him, and it seems to like just tear Bison apart from the inside out. You know, he's just glowing blue now, so it seems like he's just gonna like disintegrate into dust. So I thought that was the end of him. I think everyone thought that was the end of him too, and that he would at least be out of Street Fighter 6, especially since we have JP now, and JP was supposed to be the Bison of Street Fighter 6. But now it kind of feels like JP is just on the sidelines. And in the case for Tekken 8, I'm gonna say the same for Reina. Since Heihachi wasn't initially in the game, everyone assumed Reina was supposed to be the Heihachi of Tekken 8. But for Bison, he has amnesia. He doesn't remember who he is. So Shadaloo is still technically not a thing, at least right now. There are also the World Tour cutscenes though, with Vega and Balrog, that suggest that Shadaloo could be starting up again. But we'll have to see that when the time comes. It is interesting stuff though. And for Heihachi, we already know he's probably gonna beeline straight to Kazuya. I'm sure he definitely wants to handle his unfinished business, especially after his lava bath. Now I know fighting game stories can be like very out there, ridiculous, you know, anything could happen. But it kinda sucks something out of it when characters are supposed to be dead and have new characters be essentially stand-ins just for those characters to return in some way, shape, or form. Going back to the Tekken 3 example, I think Tekken 3 did it really well because Kazuya was out a game, but then he returned again in Tekken 4, but he was at least out for Tekken 3 because people thought he was dead. And I thought that was cool. That really worked well, especially story-wise. But hey, at the end of the day, it's still cool to see them back. It's cool to say that Heihachi's here. Bison is actually a lot of fun. So even though story-wise, it could leave a bad taste in people's mouths, it's still cool to see them back. But I'd like to know what everyone else has to say about it. So feel free to comment down below your opinions about Heihachi being back and also M. Bison. I know it's been a month, but I'm sure some people still have some thoughts about it. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about two evil dudes coming back to life, basically. And in conclusion, it should have been Ragna.